Hello, and thank you for choosing to spend your time with us again. Today we are going to talk about what we have labeled destination despair, and it's about waiting for your life to happen. And we really want to talk about what an impact this waiting has.
Waiting, feeling like you can't do the things you want to do until back to the magical number or that time, or when we get there to that feeling, but that feeling is available to us, right? So we're going to talk about how.
Yeah, we were talking about that off camera after we finished the last segment about clients who've gotten to that number and then they say, yeah, I still talk to myself the same way. I still don't like what I see in the mirror. I still don't.
Exactly. That's all the things you were thinking was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You get there and you still have that body image of yourself as that person who you didn't like, or that person who you couldn't honor because of the weight. It doesn't all go away when that number comes. No.
So we are going to encourage you to stop waiting for that. Stop waiting for that lesson. Lots of women have learned it. Yes. You don't need to learn it. You can learn through them and heed our wisdom. And you can start living today.
Yes, start living today. There's so much good stuff to do today.
Well, and one of the things I say to clients all the time is, this is the body I woke up in today. This is the body I'm going to bed in today.
That's a really good one.
And so right now, today, this is how I have to work with. I can't change it now, like you were talking in the last segment about, you can't grow your hair by the end of day. So we need to work with what we have, love it, honor it, respect it, and live in it. Because this is our vessel to express ourselves.
Exactly. And we really want for you to be able to feel that feeling of freedom.
Absolutely.
Right? Freedom.
It's the shame. Shame is something that, and I'll talk a bit about that later. Shame is a massive part of the women I work with. Like, it is such a...
Well, you work with people with eating disorders, disordered eating.
Mostly binge eating, bulimia, those types of things, but just a completely unhealthy relationship with their food and with their body, and even if they're not fat, from by standards, again that word, but if they don't have excess fat, it's still that perception of themselves that they're failing and they're not good enough, and that shame.
Or that perception that they actually, in fact, are bigger than they think they are, right?
Oh, the body
or that they're smaller than they think they are, right? So it's trippy. And I was reading this book on brain plasticity, and it's unbelievable because we have this almost a map in our brain of how our body is, right? Our body image. It's actual virtual picture you have in your mind. And it's unrelated to your actual physical body. That's the interesting thing. So you can change your body image by doing visualizations and a lot of the stuff that we teach our clients, just by realizing that they're actually not connected. What you imagine your body is not reality. It's based on, your positioning in space and what you know about your body, how you feel, all different kinds of things. It's not as simple as what it really looks like, right?
It's such a misnomer, but I have absolutely my body image now heavier than I was back in the day when I started all my disordered behaviors. It was terrible back then, but my body, when you look at like side-by-side photos, it was more perfect back then.
Well, it's that, exactly.
It's the image. My body image has nothing to do with my body.
Actual size of the body, exactly.
Nothing.
And I think there was one of those things that went viral around where it was a little kid that looked at a picture and the words were, how you feel when you see a picture of what you used to look like when you thought you were fat. And then the baby's looking at the picture and falls over and it's like all this drama over it and you're like, oh, if I only knew how great I looked then, right? But it all is up here. It has nothing to do with that, right?
And that looking backwards at the, if I wish I was that fat again.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to learn that lesson, and I needed to learn, all of our clients need to learn, you need to learn today's body is your body, and it deserves the love and respect that you wish you had for that one back then. So we're going to dig into that a little bit more in today's episode, and really try and talk about that feeling of being trapped, being stifled, that locked up feeling.
Yeah, which is a constriction, right? And I know, and one of the big things that is so interesting to me too, because of the stuff I've gone through with learning about the core and understanding it and all that stuff, the core is such a central area in your body, right? It's the center, I call it, the foundation of your house. But the interesting thing is that it's also a place where we have a lot of shame, and we feel a lot of shame, and we hold a lot in our hips area and our abdomen. We suck it in. We always want to be feeling skinny or strong, or, our posture's this, we're holding everything together, we're holding tight. And I know for moms, a lot of the new moms I work with, that's that feeling of, oh my gosh, I have to keep it all together. And what if I let it all go, right? What if I let it all go?
The world will end.
Yeah, and it's physically, and it's emotionally, and it's mentally, and it's spiritually. It's all those things in one, but it's this constriction that happens in our abdomen that doesn't allow us to fully just relax and allow for that freedom to come in, or to allow for that self-love, right? Sowing those seeds of love.
Making space.
We forget because we're so like, I gotta keep it all together.
Yeah. And waiting. And waiting.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about it before, but the Dove report, we talked right at the beginning about the girls, the 8 out of 10 girls who don't participate. That statistic is even more frightening with women, and it's 9 out of 10 have admitted to pulling back and not participating. But what's even sadder is that those 9 out of 10 women also admitted to self-destructive behavior because of poor body image. So skipping meals, not going to see a doctor when they needed to, over-exercising, ladies, you have your body today. You need to live in this body today. We talk about, we had the wonderful experience of being in Hawaii together last year. And when you look at the beaches and you look at the sides of pools and all the moms lined up wearing their clothes, not their bathing suits, and you see the kids and the dads participating and playing and jumping and in their suits, and moms all huddled up. And they're just missing out. They're missing out on life.
And that's what our kids see, right? They see, oh, I'm going to have fun now as a kid, because when I grow up, I won't be able to have fun anymore because moms don't have fun, or moms don't do this, or mom doesn't like how her body looks. Oh, should I question my own? Should I be, that stuff? Those are the seeds we're sowing if we're not 100% unconditionally loving ourselves, because we wake up in the morning and this is our body. And how are we going to treat it today, right?
Yes.
How are we going to treat it today? Are we going to implant those seeds of hate and unhappiness and unworthiness? It just doesn't need to be.
I'm forever saying you can't create love from hate. So you can't look at yourself in the mirror. You can't look at the food you're eating and wrap it all up in all of these negative, scary, frightful things and expect to develop a body that you love.
Yeah, or for our kids, right?
Yeah.
They see, and that's another statistic, right? Daughters of mothers who speak poorly of themselves and are always talking negatively about their bodies, those are how many times as likely? Twice as likely? Or there's a huge increase in the diagnosis of eating disorders in those kids because they're always experiencing someone talking so negatively. So inevitably they do, right? She's wondering, so I should wonder, okay, I have to now do these things, skip meals, do whatever.
And that's the big thing about that study, was that it wasn't that the moms were talking to the daughters in a negative sense. They were talking about themselves, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Talking about dieting, talking about their body image, like doing the oh my god stuff. Like it's really disheartening, and it's frightening because we just don't even know that we're doing it.
Well, that's the thing. If everybody's doing it, right? It's like what I talk about with incontinence, right? Everybody pees after they have babies, so sure, it's like, no, it's maybe common, but it's not normal, and it's not something you have to live with. You can make a choice to take care of it, right?
Absolutely.
So same thing with this. It's about giving you choice, right? Going out and living the life that you want to live despite the size you're in. Because yes, you can have an imagination that you want to change this or something, but today, regardless of what you do, there's only so much change, right? But it's about embracing where you're at.
And that's it. It's stepping up and knowing that this is my body today, and participating in things. I went to a yoga retreat last weekend on a stand-up paddleboard, and I was, without question, reality speaking, one of the larger women at this retreat. And in the past, it would have stopped me. I wouldn't have gone. And had I actually mustered up the courage to go on, I would have spent the whole time being hyper aware. But instead, I was able to do some pretty cool stuff, right?
And you got an experience you never had before, and you would have not done, right?
Yes.
You would have said, I'll have to get fit before I do that. I'll have to do this, or I'll have to, you know, wear full gear, no bathing suit, or whatever.
Well, even just going to Hawaii, how many women probably dieted for the 2 weeks before, right? Like, oh, gotta get skinny enough to get there.
And because we talk about it so much, it becomes like, oh, that's not weird that she wants to lose weight before she goes on the trip. That's normal, right? That's normal.
It's okay.
Whereas now we know, right? Everybody who's trying to lose weight, that weight's going to come back. That weight is just going to come back. And you want to think about, what are the day-to-day things that I can do to make myself just feel good today? Not at this later time, right?
Well, and it comes down to love. It's the base of everything we're talking to you about, and what we are always talking about with our clients. Love is about respect, and it's about honor. And living in today's body is putting away all of that stuff that you keep saying to yourself and tuning into what it is that you need today and living today. So if you need to go to the park with your kids and play, then that's what you need to do. If whatever it is, you just need to live in today's body, and you will treat something you love and respect with respect.
Exactly.
You will give it the care and nourishment that it requires.
Exactly.
But if you're beating yourself up, our friend was here last night talking about this old beater truck they had to borrow because one was in the shop. And it was just that, it made me think, you know, like rental homes, and I mean, you've had this experience when rented your space.
They don't treat it the same way as
No.
something that's theirs, right? And this is our one body.
This is it.
We don't get to go, okay, I'm moving because this one's, you know, I've had my time, or this one's all beat up, I got a new one.
Yeah.
Where is it? Which one do I get to pick, right?
Yes.
We get to pick how we perceive ourselves and how we want to enjoy our lives. Regardless of the size of our bodies, we get that choice.
Yeah.
But it takes some undoing of all the doing that we've had all our lives, right?
It's crazy. Get to it.
So what? So what's our one thing that we can do, Kerri? Because this is all like, I want freedom, I want to feel this, I don't want to feel dissatisfied, I want my kids to grow up feeling amazing about themselves, I don't want them to wait to live their life. What is something that we can do today? Because we really want to leave them with something that they can go to.
I don't want you to go and do something that's going to provoke a massive anxiety attack. So if you haven't shown any part of your body in the last 20 years, throwing on a bikini and jumping out in the pool is probably not the right first step.
Yeah.
So
it
could
be smaller. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Let's think of something. What can you do right now? What can you think of that you have been missing out on? What has your body image held you back from doing? What is something that you wanted to do and then you're like, nah, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go shopping. I'm not going to, what else? What do people hold back on? They don't go on a trip.
They don't go on a trip. They don't go meet a friend for coffee. They don't eat dessert sitting at a table with other people. Go on a dessert date with your partner or your friend, you know, split something decadent and really enjoy it.
Really enjoy it. We'll talk about that guilt factor.
Coming.
No,
it's another episode.
That's a whole other episode for real.
It could be, if food is just not an option right now, because that's too much. I mean, I was sharing with Jen back in my most disordered time, I wouldn't buy something I was going to eat to binge on with. My binge food was white cake, the layered, sickeningly sweet that now actually I don't even enjoy. Really? It's taken me years to learn I don't actually like it, but that was not the point. Yeah. I was going to eat the cake, but I wouldn't just go and buy a cake. I would buy, you know, 2 steaks and some potatoes and salad and all kinds of stuff as though it was going to be a meal. I just wanted the flipping cake.
Just so the people in the grocery store?
I didn't want them to think that I was going to, some of you are going, oh my God, she's wacko. And some of you are going, I totally get that. It's tough when you feel And I felt like the whole world was watching everything I ate and everything I did, and that they were judging. Most people don't care.
No,
but there are people who are looking in your cart and noticing, and now I don't care.
Yeah.
But at the extremes I would go to pretend like, so maybe it's, maybe there's that special cookie or special something that you really like. Go and buy one and go and enjoy it, and don't buy the whole feast.
Yeah, exactly, right?
We're close.
Yeah, go try on a bathing suit, or go get something that you actually that fits you in your size, right? We were talking about this earlier too. It's like, okay, buying a goal outfit. Oh, I'm going to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds, and I'm going to wear this size 4 or whatever. But it's like, you're going to feel uncomfortable in it. You're not going to have as much fun in it. When you buy the next size up, you can fit into it today. Your whole energy shifts, right?
Absolutely.
You just go rock that thing.
And then you get to feel hot wearing whatever it is you're wearing and whatever size it is. Absolutely. Yeah, and thankfully there are some nice plus size options now. There are clothes that are pretty in size 18, 20, 22, 24. They're stylish, they're colorful, they flow, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Go and buy them.
Exactly.
Go to that store that has those clothes that you can try on. Don't even entertain these stores that only carry plus sizes online. It's a whole new rant for me.
Oh, really?
Go to the store that carries them so that you can try them on. You should not feel ashamed to go and try on clothes in a store, because you get them home and they don't fit, you don't like them, you got to return it. Just go try on some clothes.
So try and think of one thing you can do. And I mean, this is something I just want to bring up, because we have talked about this, that you've had sort of a resistance from some people of some of the things you're talking about, because they've said, well, this is just a license to binge eat now. If you're not going to, you know, put your self-worth in your weight, you're not going to watch your weight, you're not going to this, and it's just a license to binge. But you made a good point. When you finally let it go and say, I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want, then you actually realize that you don't want to go binge eat on that cake all the time, right?
No, I tell my tall tale of donuts with my during some of my worst binge and bulimia days. I would go and buy a pack of donuts and I would eat them in the car, going from one place to the next, because they were poppable and it just worked, right? It fit all the requirements of a binge. And when I started doing this work, I had to sit, and I don't like donuts. I don't like them. So there is not a single solitary requirement for me to avoid them. I genuinely don't like them. It's like that white cake. I honestly do not enjoy it. So it's not, there's no push-pull, I can't have it.
It's because it's when you can't have something you want it, right? So that's what it goes into. And that's the same thing that I go through with my clients. And it's like, they think that this way, just because it's different, is going to be worse, but it ends up being better because it's the energy with which you come to your meals and snacks.
Absolutely.
It's not the meals and snacks per se, and every calorie, and is this clean or is this organic? And it's like,
that's a whole
that's you know, I always talk about, to shrink, don't overthink, right? Yeah. And the minute you stop overthinking, the natural weight will either come off or stay on or be there, but it is not important anymore because you just feel good.
Yeah. And I want to put a bit of a caveat on that, because in this body positive rebel diet world, there are a lot of trains of thoughts, and there are some people that are just sticking it to the man, and they are using this as an excuse or as a license to eat poorly. And I only say poorly because and again, it's when I start with love, when I start with appreciation, when I start with respect, when I start with all of those things, I'm not going to sit down and eat a whole cake, because physically it doesn't feel good.
And that's the whole listening to
it
your
doesn't
body
feel
piece,
good,
right? You realize when your mind is not, oh, I shouldn't have, oh, I should have, oh, it's not good, it's good, it's I'm bad, oh, this and this, then you're actually sitting there thinking, no, I don't feel good right now. And all that other stuff is gone, and you're tuned in.
Exactly. So there's a lot of other work that has to happen to avoid this becoming a license to binge.
But it's fun work. It's like sowing the seeds of
love.
Awesome work. It's so fun.
You get to work with people like us. Totally. It's great fun, and it's challenging, but it's amazing, and it's worth,
and it's lifelong, right?
Absolutely.
You and I came from the fitness training industry, where they want you to have a personal trainer and sign up with the personal trainer. When those sessions are done, sign up more and sign up more and sign up more. Which that's a good model if you run the business. But we run our own businesses and we don't want that for you, right? We love you, we want to talk to you, sure, we'll coach you forever if you want. But the key thing is that we want to give you the tools so that you're able to release this negativity around yourself and your body and bring back that place of love where then you're beaming it out, right? You're that light and love, and you don't need to pay someone to get to the gym because you're so motivated and you're feeling so great and you love life that you'll just go to the gym, or you won't, and you'll be good either way.
Well, and the other key thing with this living in the now body and not waiting, one of my clients decided to do this European cruise, and she had a lot of anxiety about going there in her today body, but she was not going to let life stop her. So when she came home, we had a bit of a debrief of how it all went. She said, well, there was times when I looked in the mirror and I hated it. I said, well, can you think of a single woman that doesn't have a day like that? No. But what she had was tools. Yes. And she didn't need me to talk her out of that. Exactly. She did that, and she had the trip of a lifetime. And it's about cultivating and sowing these seeds. And as they start to grow, they just become what you do.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We're planting seeds and they will grow into things that grow on their own, right? We know after having babies, right? It's like you didn't do anything and the baby came out perfect. And then we get all in control over things. And it's like, okay, we don't need to control so much, right? This is about freedom, and this is about feeling and just being.
Yeah. Right? And about living today.
Living today.
Remember that your family wants you. And I see so many women not participate in life because it doesn't fit with their current nutrition and exercise regime. We were talking about this with a friend of ours who's traveled here from Australia, and she getting to the gym is not really conducive to her travels right now. Now, she could be absolutely committed and go, and we call that obsessed and a wee bit crazy, of like absolutely every city trying to find that gym and that and spending your life in the gym. Or she can travel and see the world and spend time with friends
and be active and enjoy life still, right?
Absolutely.
But it's the compulsion of it that I think we're talking about, right?
Absolutely.
And that's ingrained in us, right? From the society, from the culture, from all these things that we were told and we were taught and we were expected and we were all these things. But we're here to provide that alternative perspective, just to consider things that you thought were real that may not be.
Clear out some of the fluff so it makes room for today. Our minds stay in the future and in the past, and today is the day that you have to live. Today is the day you have to hang out with your friends, to connect with your children, to be intimate with your husband or your wife or your partner.
Love that.
To just connect and be, and go to bed feeling like you lived. No regrets.
No regrets. I love it. Okay, so one thing we're going to do today, think of one thing we're going to do that we haven't done. I'm going to think of something too that's held me back. Actually, one of the first times when you and I first met, one of the questions you asked in one of your groups was something around what are you not doing? It was similar to this, and it got me really thinking, and I thought, okay. And you know what, I realized that I very rarely wear shorts because I'm self-conscious about my legs. I've always had really muscular, strong legs, and they're not long and lean and what I think shorts should look good in, right? So I very rarely wear shorts. I remember that day I'm wearing shorts, and I felt great rocking the shorts, and I thought, excuse me, right? But I held myself back from doing that for so long. I would go into stores and I would never look at the shorts because my body type doesn't look good in shorts. I told myself that for 35 years? All about shorts. And short skirts. I'm into squirts. This is the new thing I like. They're comfy and they have little shorts underneath.
And they stop the chafing. My thighs love each other.
Mine too.
All day they love each other.
Yes.
For me, it's making yoga the priority, because the more I do it, the more I remember how much I love it. And for a long time, I've done it at home because I felt very self-conscious in yoga class, and it stopped being about my practice and being more about comparison. So stepping more into classes, that's my commitment.
Awesome. Great, thank you, Kerri.
All right, what are we talking about next time?
We are talking about next time.
We're going to tell you what the perfect diet is.
Best diet according to science.
Oh, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.